Hi all. Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Well, this is going to be kind of an interesting video. I'm giving a shout out, or I'm attempting to communicate towards the end with the Sussex squad. So we have some updates. We have the whole Sussex squad thing, and then I need some advice on Finn. So let's just jump right in and go there, shall we? Let's go. This article came up that Harry always felt that William had it better than him and it was unfair. You know, I gotta say, in some ways, I'm sure he did. After all, he's the future king. Harry is the spare. Yes, I'm sure William did have it better in some ways, but we also know that Diana went out of her way to give extra attention to Harry for those exact same reasons. So, yeah, I mean, guys, the man is how old now? It's like, grow up, grow up. All right, moving on. All right, let's move on to this one. Now, we all know Samantha Markle has a Twitter account. And she posts stuff on Twitter. She's been posting stuff. As soon as she opened the YouTube account, immediately her Twitter account got suspended. Now, I follow her on Twitter, and I haven't seen her post anything that would warrant a suspension. So now people are talking about, is it possible that Harry had her suspended? We know that Harry is good friends with the head of Twitter. We know that Harry and Meghan bought into that ethical banking, and they have shares and shares and shares in the same social media platforms where they say they don't have accounts, but we know obviously they do, or they wouldn't know what's going on Twitter. And that makes you wonder, and I think this is an attack on free speech. Be interesting to see if that's what's really going on. All right, moving on. All right, you guys, Sophie, while she was in New York, she went to the 100 Women's Finance Lunch, which is a global network created by 100 women in finance, go figure. But they're committed to promoting diversity, raising visibility, and empowering women at all stages of their careers, which I think is fabulous. Now, as she was walking into the building, they're calling it the Marilyn Monroe moment because a gust of wind picked up a little bit of her skirt. But of course, she handled it like a pro. All right, moving on. All right, this was sent to me by one of my followers. This was a Sussex Squad podcast. Now, keep in mind that the Sussex Squad does a YouTube channel, which is essentially a quote-unquote hate account where they spew all kinds of hate at the royal family, and they're racist and they're horrible. Now, keep in mind, there's been no proof of any of that other than things that Harry and Meghan have said. They've never showed one smidge of proof of anything. But, okay. But somebody sent it to me and said, have you heard what they're saying lately? And I was like, no, I don't listen to them. They're monetized. They make money off YouTube, just like everybody else does. And they were like, well, you should listen to this section and this section. Wow, people, that's all I can say. So I'm listening to this, and Ellie Hall, who did the original article about Mr. Boozy, they called her a troll. They're mad because they said that she didn't do a comprehensive article because she didn't show both sides. Now, I find that stance very interesting because when she did the original article about Bot Sentinel, she didn't mention anything about, she didn't do an examination of Mr. Boozy before she did that article. She didn't look into his past and find out all the horrible things that everybody else has found out about, or, you know, the fact that he himself was tweeting horrible things about the royal family. She didn't do a comprehensive report. But they're mad at her now because they didn't include him in Ellie Hall's report. That's what I'm getting from it. So now, of course, they're saying that the press, including Ellie Hall, gave the platform to Samantha so she could talk. Like, she couldn't open her own Twitter. She couldn't open her own YouTube like every other person on the planet. No, it's Ellie Hall and the other journalists that are giving her a platform. And then they said some things that make me wonder about them. You know what I'm saying? Here you have Samantha Markle, who's in a wheelchair. I'm sure she would rather not be in a wheelchair. She's been in one for years because she's got MS. And the Sussex squad called her trash because she's living on disability. And they also said that she was living off the media, which actually that's one of the things that Meghan Markle has said about her sister. And her sister has denied it and is going to show in court that she's never been paid by the media. This ought to be good. Now, you guys have to remember that when they talk, they are, in fact, speaking for Meghan Markle. They're representing Meghan Markle. So here's some of the stuff they said. All of the YouTube accounts that don't fall at the feet of Meghan Markle were all deranged, lunatic, Ku Klux Klan grannies. Sorry, wait a minute. She said, we're all criminals who should go to jail. They wished death on Camilla, said they're just waiting on her to die. And they think she's withdrawn from public life because she's super ill. And they basically hoped that that was true, which I find disgusting. Then they talked about the whole racist claim against William. Harry dressed up in a Nazi uniform. And he did not apologize. The palace apologized for him, but he never apologized. So that tells you he's anti-Semitic. Harry made a comment caught on camera about one of his military people, calling him a raghead. So I guess he's anti-Muslim. Called him a raghead and a packy head and a bunch of other really nasty names. He's also been caught on camera. There was somebody who asked him about Chelsea back when they were first dating, and he goes, well, you know, she's not black or anything. I mean, if you want to talk about who's the racist in the family, I think you're pointing at the wrong brother. And what I find even more interesting is that the Sussex squad doesn't want to see, I mean, they don't seem to address that. If they ever did address it, I'm sure it would be, well, it happened a long time ago. They'll give them a pass. But the point is, it's like they don't discuss it, like it's pushed under the rug. Now, obviously, I did not listen to the entire podcast. I just don't have time for all that. It was over 2 hours long, like I can't even imagine. But what I did notice was that they were defending the journalists who inappropriately and incorrectly called William a racist. And the thing that everybody was upset about, okay, fine. Omid Scobie tweeted something from the Associated Press, even though they weren't there that day, it was shown. But the problem that everybody has is the simple fact that they made a mistake and they didn't apologize. That's what everybody was upset about. And instead, the squad turned it into their usual, it's racist, they're Ku Klux Klan, it's racist. You get it. Okay, so there is a massive double standard going on with these people, and let me explain. One of the women actually said, and I don't know who these women are, I couldn't care less, but one of them said, I'm going to get the IP addresses, we're going to sue and get the IP addresses of all these people, and we're going to expose them, and we're going to do this and that to them, and it's not going to end well for you, okay? In the next breath, one of these women says that somebody, and I'm not sure who she was talking about. I think she was talking about Yankee Wally. She said, they don't want Harry and Meghan and the kids to exist. They don't even want them to exist. Okay, I have not heard anybody say that. Please enlighten me if I'm wrong. So essentially, they're telling you they want to dox people, and it's a horrible thing that you wish death on people. In the next breath, one of the women says, they've been trying to dox me. And let me tell you, you MFers, and the language, I mean, this person, I can't even imagine what this person does for a living with the amount of filth coming out of her mouth. But she says, if you dox me, your kids won't grow. Oh, so she's making death threats against people's children. So I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to destroy you. You see what I'm saying? So it's okay for them to try to get IP addresses to dox people, but if you dox her, she's threatening the lives of your children. She goes, and don't doubt it. I've got a way. I'm prepared. I can follow through on my threats. Now, I would like to say something directly to the Sussex squad, if they're listening. You know, when Harry and Meghan first got married, I was so uber excited. It's unbelievable. And I had a few friends actually say to me, that engagement interview, which by the way, I didn't watch, the engagement interview gave me pause. There's something wrong here. And I said, no, I think she's going to get in there and I think she's going to do great things. And then the claims, and then the vacations, and then the whining, and they claimed one of the articles was racist. Straight Outta Compton was racist. However, the article was written by two Daily Mail people in the United States, one of whom, it's my understanding, is African heritage. Ugh. I would really love to communicate with one of the Sussex squad and have them change my mind. Tell me something. Convince me that she is a fabulous person, they're fabulous people, and I'm wrong. Now, I don't want to talk to somebody who's going to threaten me, threaten my children, and MF you. And I need somebody who's got some education, somebody who's able to make a declarative sentence. Please, you know my email. It's in the description box. Please email me and pass this information on to me. I really would like to talk to somebody and have you and I have a dialogue point by point. Please try to change my mind. Now, with all of that said, I'd also like to know, while this woman is railing online and threatening people, don't you dox me, don't you dox me, what do you think about the fact that I was doxed by Mr. Boozy? What do you think about the fact, Sussex Squad, that he told everybody my son was autistic? What do you guys think about that? That he tried to shame my son online. I would just really like to know what you guys think about that. Again, we can discuss that when we have our dialogue. All right, moving on. All right, quick Finn update. I told you guys that Finn has these weird idiosyncrasies, and yesterday was a perfect example, and I took a video of it. So Finn, for no reason whatsoever that I can fathom, ran into his crate, stayed there, and wouldn't come out. When my husband came home and tried to get him out, he's very food driven. It wasn't budging him. He wasn't moving. And I took a video to show you guys what I'm talking about. Watch this. So for my followers, this is something that Finn does for the last couple days. He gets, hey, Bobby, come on out. Come out, please. He sits there and stares and tail wags, but he won't come out. It's like something's wrong. He doesn't want to come out. Please come out. No? Any thoughts on anybody? So you guys see what I mean? He goes to the very back of the cage. He sits there. His tail is wagging, but he wants nothing to do with us. I just don't know what that is. It bothers me. So I would love to know your thoughts. Do you think that Harry helped get Samantha thrown off of Twitter because she filed that lawsuit? Because I honestly do. And what do you guys think about the Sussex Squad podcast double standard? Don't you dare dox me, but we're going to get your IP addresses and we're going to expose you. You know what I'm saying? These people wish death on Harry and Meghan, and yet they're wishing death in the podcast on Camilla. You guys see what I'm talking about? I really want your comments. So make sure to leave them below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future uploads. You know, you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Getter. You can email me. For those of you who have donated to my coffee/alcohol fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.